Good day and welcome to SCO BRICS Insight, where we talk about the latest news, information and analysis of what's really going on in Russia and the BRICS. Now, my name is Rod Mackenzie, and today I want to talk about the growth in the number of young people choosing to go to trade schools and technical colleges to train in blue-collar industries in Russia. Now, in the current business environment in Russia, obtaining a university degree or a diploma no longer necessarily guarantees your success. In Russia, the younger generation are increasingly opting for manual trades, blue-collar employment opportunities. In today's market, trade professionals such as engineers, turners, electricians, welders, crane operators, etc. are often earning more than white-collar mid-level managers. Currently social networks are glamorizing the work of skilled hands. Now, the increasing popularity of blue-collar roles is not accidental, but rather a consequence of the evolving economic landscape in Russia, plus Russia's industrial renaissance through its import substitution programs. So its engineering and all its other industries are now looking to grow with more people. Analysts have noted the trend towards high salaries now in the real industrial sector because government support and a general feeling is turning away from office-based work. Now, this is just not really just a fashion. It's a logical return to the values of labour and a reaction to an oversaturation of the market with people, the qualified accountants, economists, lawyers and other white-collar professionals. In the current economic climate, as the country continues to enhance its economic sovereignty, the importance of individuals who possess real skills and can demonstrate material value is increasing. So there are factories, plants and enterprises that require qualified engineering and mechanical specialists who can operate complex machinery, maintain conveyors and implement advanced technologies like robotics. Now, the incentive for moving the focus to vocational secondary education is given the opportunity for those who have a diploma of a secondary vocational training centre to actually enter the higher level institutes for further STEM study. Now, it should be noted that the Unified Russian State exam is no longer a prerequisite for obtaining professional certification. Instead, candidates are required to pass now specialist exams. Now, before I continue, I would like to make an appeal. If you like and enjoy my videos, you can help me fund the channel and my website, SCOBRICSinsight.com, and you can do this by making a small donation, which is done by clicking on the thanks button at the right-hand bottom of the screen. Now, sometimes it's under 3 dots, so if you click on that, you'll see another sub-menu, and you can make a donation there. All donations get a personal thank you, and also set the alerts so you get notified when I post a new video, and also keep the comments coming as I love to read them and respond to them. Now, consequently, pupils can only attend college after the 9th grade, but also after the 10th grade. Plus, there's a number of technical universities where pupils are accepted into the second year of the institute in their chosen field by both full-time and part-time courses while working in the field in a job. Now, evidence of this can be found at the programme run by the Ural Polytechnic College and Roscosmos. Now, graduates then receive a guaranteed place at the MPU Automatica, which is known as the State Enterprise for Scientific Production and Association of Automation, which is a company based in Yekaterinburg. Now, the MPOA develops and produces a wide range of electronic control systems for missile complexes. It also develops and manufactures a wide range of civilian electronics equipment, including communication systems, industrial computer-assisted management systems, and medical equipment. Now, the average starting salary there is 156,000 rubles, which is about 30,000 more than the national average. Another option, a joint programme between the Kazan Petrochemical College and the oil company Tatneft. This programme offers guaranteed employment at the enterprise on graduation, with a salary starting at 250,000 rubles, which is twice the average salary in Russia. Now, here in my home city of Ufa, there's an oil and gas university that has a worldwide reputation for turning out graduates with a high level of technical skills in the field. About 20% of its students are sent by countries like Angola, Algeria, Egypt, Iran, Mozambique and Nigeria to enhance their knowledge and return to their national oil companies with better education and better skill levels. Now, as Associate Professor Tamara Grimenko of the Department of Social Technologies at the Russian Presidential Academy notes, these examples demonstrate the efficacy of a training program for personnel within the framework of the federal project Professionalism in Industry, which was initiated back in September 2022. Now, if you look at the structure of the value system of young people, the interest in vocational training becomes understandable. From a young age, they receive a professional level of training, and they're expected to work then later as an employee or a freelancer, self-employed or a consultant, or even to open their own business. In other words, the objective is to facilitate their economic independence and establish them to make their own decisions and encourage them to make a career path that they deem necessary, but with the correct skills. Now, most of them will probably become quite successful and wealthy in Russian terms quite quickly. Now, as part of the Professionalism in Industry project, the government is currently, that's the Russian government, upgrading and modernising over 1,000 colleges that will interact with 4,000 employers across the country. Now, this represents a significant interaction between the real economy and the education system to provide what the system, as in the economy, wants and not what the education system wants. Enterprises and educational institutes are collaborating to provide their students with access to training in the professions that are in demand in the current job market. So this is where they receive both theoretical knowledge and practical skills alongside each other. Now, this approach is designed to ensure the seamless synchronization of the labour market and the national education system. In the current business environment, there's an equal level of interest in secondary and higher vocational education. Now, if this process is managed correctly, Russia will be able to raise the quality and prestige of not only secondary but its higher vocational education. Now, there is obviously a serious trend among young people towards entering the industrial workforce. As reported by the Institute for the Development of Professional Education, in 24-25, the academic year saw 3.8 million students enrolled in Russian technical colleges and institutes, and that's a significant increase. It's up from 500,000 only 4 years ago. Now, according to a survey by the Superjob service in 2025, 55% of parents of 9th graders who do not intend to continue their education in school said their children would then go to a technical college. Now, that shows how the positive process is now continuing. Now, the future employee has an advantage. During the training period, the apprentice is going to acquire the skills and the knowledge to perform the responsibilities of their role, including the ability to actually produce goods and services for their employer. Now, this approach enables them to assimilate into contemporary work practices with greater efficiency. Now, this approach also fosters the development of soft skills, and it should be noted, though, that this isn't a rejection of the academic institutes and university, but rather an opportunity to choose the path that suits the individual and suits the needs of Russian industry. I mean, you really have to look at how the modern social landscape's evolving in Russia and how the import substitution has changed its industrial profile. So this is why the college profiles are now covering engineering, technology, mining, oil and gas. So then the industrial education system, there's a notable structural change in what they're doing. They're now introducing numerous digital disciplines alongside the engineering, etc. The courses focus on automation and robotisation of processes, and they've been identified as analysts as a key development area for them. Now, also, they're enhancing their foreign languages, and that's now been included as a compulsory subject. I know that because my wife actually teaches a lot of them of English. Now, in summary, the training level's been enhanced to meet the current requirements of what the country needs for its technological and industrial development. So in part, Russia's now going back to the positive experience of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, when blue-collar trade jobs were prioritised and revered. Today, the average salary for a mid-level manager in a company is between 85 and 120,000 rubles, but for a CNC, a computer numerical operator, it's much higher, between 170 and 220,000 rubles. So that's a significant difference for somebody who's got a particular skill in a blue-collar job. Now, a similar situation is occurring, but it's not ideological as it was in the Soviet Union. The 90s saw a significant decline in the number of carpenters, joiners, electricians, but an increase in communications, public relations service, but a lack of those involved in installation, diagnostics, repair and maintenance of utility networks, for example. Now, craftsmen with a proven track record and experience are now offered starting salaries of 200,000 rubles. Companies are able to attract clients by showing that they have the professional abilities and the staff to carry out these duties. Plus, Russia is not only home to cities with over 1 million people, but lots of towns and villages and regional centres where the presence of universities is limited, but there are plenty of colleges and institutes where they can become competent craftsmen. So the key question remains, if the factories are fully supplied, but of course there's going to be retirements, and people entering the workforce will make up for those that are going out of it. So the work of blue-collar workers is now being celebrated as the work of IT specialists once was. And the country is now offering young people the opportunity to really develop their skills rather than focusing on superficial attributes. And I think this is much more than a passing trend. This is Russia's new economic and industrial sovereignty. And it's a positive step into social mobility for Russians. And it's good for the country. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and share with others who might enjoy the videos. And if you want to help, make a donation at the thanks button at the bottom of the screen. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.